Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. You chose a good day to do so. My name is Dana, and today I have a compilation of products that I'm going to be reviewing for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. And also, don't forget to subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any of my future content. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off with a dry shampoo. I actually did an entire comparison of this to the Living Proof original dry shampoo that they had. If you're familiar with the Living Proof line, the original formula came in their darker kind of like charcoal gray collection, which I believe is their volume line. It says that it actually cleans hair and softens and shines. I have to agree with all three of those claims. Now, the main difference between these two dry shampoos, I wish I had the other one in my hand right here. I find that the darker version is almost like a texture spray or root boost and dry shampoo in one. What I mean by that is that it leaves a little bit more of a grit in your hair. So if you're just looking to really like zhuzh up your roots and absorb any excess oil, that one's perfect. However, if you don't really care about any additional grittiness or texture in your hair, in fact, I know a lot of people don't like that. That was the main complaint of that dry shampoo. I personally like dry shampoos that have a little bit of grit just because I love big hair. The only downside to a formula like that is that if you're someone with really oily hair, it doesn't work that well to use day after day, just because eventually just that buildup of like grit and texture kind of takes the opposite effect, where it'll start to weigh your roots down. Whereas this formula, you could go in like day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and you're totally fine. Just like a true dry shampoo. Whereas the other one is dry shampoo and texture in one. I love both of them and I use them on different days. This I use on first day hair. I just find if you prime your hair with dry shampoo from the get-go, then you end up having to use less dry shampoo as the days go on. However, if there's a night that I'm going out or I want my hair to look really good that day and just be full and voluminous, then that day I will go in with the original dry shampoo. I also find that this formula is just a lot better for people with fine or thin hair, whereas the darker formula, if you have fine or thin hair, you could still use it, but I would only use it on one day. If you have thick and coarse hair, your hair can definitely handle more of the original version, but overall, fine and thin hair, I think you would prefer the silver version. Next up, I have a body serum. This is from the brand Playa. I have used several of their hair care items in the past. This actually was launched with their body wash as well. I haven't opened it yet just because I hate having 3 or 4 body washes in my shower. This is their body serum. I love any sort of body moisture product just because I tend to have drier skin, especially as the months get cooler. I almost like to use this as a hyaluronic acid serum for my body, which there is hyaluronic acid in it, as well as vitamin C and tiger grass. It's supposed to be soothing, moisturizing, help with redness. I love the texture of this. It truly does glide on like a slippery feel of a hyaluronic serum. The scent is kind of weird and off-putting. I don't know if it's fully supposed to be scented. I was kind of confused because whenever I looked online, people were saying like, oh, I hate the perfume smell they added. It doesn't even smell like perfume to me. It has just like a weird sort of like clinical soap sort of smell, but I always lock this in with a moisturizer on top anyway, so by that point it fades away. Just like a hyaluronic acid on your face, you would go in and seal it in with a moisturizer. I do the same thing. If you're just really dry and you want to take that extra step and be better about moisturizing your skin like I'm trying to be right now, I've really been enjoying this. I've used this so many times after a shower and I've only gone through this much. This is from the brand Good Molecules. This is a brand that I've been testing out a lot lately. I've been loving their, I think it's called bakuchiol oil. I've been using that on my under eyes and on my neck. But if you're just looking for a great, super affordable moisturizer, perfect for makeup prep, this is amazing. You can use this day and night, but for me personally, I prefer something a little bit heavier, thicker, more rich during the evening, but daytime for makeup, this is perfect. And this full size is only 12 bucks. Also, I love that it comes with a pump. So it comes out just like a regular moisturizer, but the more that you rub it in, it's something that you have to feel. It's super silky, smoothing sort of moisturizing feel. So that's why I find that it's more ideal for an AM lotion, something right before makeup, just because it helps to like smooth out any areas with larger pores. I mean, I guess that's why it's called priming moisturizer. It truly does feel like a primer and moisturizer in one. If you stay up to date with my favorites videos, you've already heard this one mentioned several times. This is the Tatcha Indigo Overnight Repair Cream. I love Tatcha skincare. I think the only line that I haven't loved quite as much is the water cream one. It was in the teal packaging. It's not even that I disliked that, it's just my least favorite out of all the other products that I've tried. Their Dewy Skin Cream line, I absolutely adore. I love the enzyme rice powder. I love their Dewy Skin Mist. They just do skincare amazing. Japanese indigo extract, that's supposed to help soothe and restore irritated skin from redness to dry patches. Hyaluronic acid and ceramides. Mondo grassroot, that's supposed to help with the skin's microbiome for healthy looking radiant skin. This makes your skin so plump and supple. It's a really nice overnight cream, but without being super heavy. So it's not quite as like thick and I don't want to say not rich, but you know, sometimes with thicker night creams, you have to really go in there and kind of like warm it up before you spread it out. This kind of has like a slightly jello-y sort of texture, but while still feeling very serum-like. It's not greasy, but it leaves your skin looking very wet and shiny, but without fully feeling wet. Like it just almost feels like a moisturizer and oil in one. And it's a night cream where I wake up in the morning and my skin still looks like it's slowly absorbing everything in. I love this stuff. I get so excited for my nighttime skincare routine just because of that product. I have been on a wild goose chase just looking for the perfect fragrance. You know, there's people with extensive fragrance collections. They're changing out perfume every day. I'm just not like that because it takes me a long time to get through a full bottle of perfume to where I've just really dwindled down my collection to where I maybe keep like 3 or 4 core fragrances. And I don't want to go out and buy others just because there are some perfumes that I've had to throw away just because they got rancid. So I've really been getting in the mindset of just purchasing like smaller roller balls. That way I can actually get through and enjoy entire perfume without wasting them. When it comes to scents, I really like warm, sweet, spicy scents. I ended up purchasing Replica Jazz Club. That mixed with Sailing Day, I absolutely love that combo. If you're looking for like a fresh daytime scent, Sailing Day is amazing. But then if you want like a warm, sexy, in fact, I think Jazz Club is actually a cologne. Most of the fragrances are like marketed as unisex, but Jazz Club says male cologne or male fragrance. I still use it though. I mean, obviously you could use any cologne or perfume that you want, but the combo of those two together, having like warm and spicy and fresh and clean, it's delectable. I love it. Every single time I'm in Sephora and I'm smelling the Replica perfumes, everyone always tries to say by the fireplace. That smells like an ashtray on me. I hate it. I know a lot of people love that smoky smell. I don't mind tobacco notes, but not to that extent. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't decide which one I liked, so I ended up just purchasing this little set, which was perfect for me. I like most of them in here, but there are a couple where I'm just like, no thanks. The top 3 are definitely Black Tulip. That's what I have on today. If you like scents like Black Opium, Flower Bomb, those just like warm, spicy scents, you would really like Black Tulip. Midnight Fleur, Wild Poppy, if you're just looking for something more like florally, but like sweet and just yummy still, you would really like Wild Poppy. Sun-Kissed Hibiscus, this is definitely more of like a summer scent. It almost has that coconutty beach sunscreen vibe. And then the other 3 I haven't played with enough yet. I know it's either Wisteria Blue or Indigo. I smelled the full size of that in Sephora and I almost yacked. It just wasn't good. I'm just trying to do smaller sizes like this. That way I'm not wasting perfumes. I say that, but then I got this perfume yesterday. Whatever, Dana, why are you this way? All right, now let's go ahead and get into makeup. Also, leave your perfume recommendations for me down below, just because I'm trying to find like my new scent and I'm having the hardest time. The Colourpop Shadow Sticks, isn't that what they're called? Colourstix. They're just not for me. I'm really bummed because I do like Colourpop. I love cream shadow sticks. I rave about the Laura Mercier caviar sticks all the time. I have other brands that I really do like. Colourpop just, these are waxy and hard. I feel like you have to glide over several times and it's like once you go one way and then if you try to color back over it, since it's so waxy, it almost like picks up some of the previous laid pigment and then it gets like streaky and it's not a good formula. Sorry. If you love them, I'm happy for you, but if you love these and you haven't tried a caviar stick yet, I realize the price difference is pretty big. But the caviar sticks are just long wearing, they're beautiful, they're creamy. I mean, there's just other options out there, even at the drugstore. Does Maybelline still make those chubby Color Studio crayons? Those were good. Those are miles and miles better than the Colourstix. I couldn't get done with those, sorry. I do have one other Colourpop product in here. It's actually what I'm wearing on my eyes today. This is their new holiday palette. It's called Roaring Hearts. Right when I opened this, it immediately reminded me of, I don't have the palette, but I've seen a million photos of it, the Colourpop Bare Necessities palette. There we go. If you have that palette, you really don't need this one. I personally haven't seen a side-by-side swatch guide of both of them together, but honestly, a lot of these shades remind me of shades that would be in that Bare Necessities one. Overall, I personally like the palette, but if you've had your eyes on this and you already have the Bare Necessities palette, you could definitely skip out on it. Also, as I was applying this, the color story kind of reminded me of ABH Soft Glam as well. I definitely prefer the Soft Glam palette over this one, but if you have that palette, I feel like you could easily skip on this as well. This is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. I have mine in the shade 320 Pine. This was on my loves list at Sephora for months and months and months. I finally pulled the trigger. It was on sale one day. I don't hate it, but I'm not as crazy about it as I thought I would be. I had talked about this in a previous video briefly, but I really think I probably would have been happier if I purchased the, I think it's either dewy or radiant version. I thought initially that that's what I was ordering, but I got the original version. I know people still love this one as well. And like I said, it's not even that it's bad, but I have even like drugstore foundations that I prefer over this. I don't really see the whole self-refreshing aspect of it. My foundation doesn't look any better than my other go-to foundations when I wear this. The way that people raved on and on about this, I expected so much more. The coverage, the texture, everything is nice. It's just not what I thought it would be. It's something that you've had on your wish list and you're expecting like something incredible and totally different from all your other foundations. Spoiler alert, it's not gonna be. However, a product that I have absolutely been loving is the Catrice True Skin High Cover Concealer. This has hyaluronic acid, it's waterproof. I go between, I think it's W15 Warm Vanilla, C18 Cool Rose. I feel like this performs just as well as some of the high-end concealers in my collection. I love the doe foot applicator. It's more of like this wider spade-shaped paddle. The coverage is great. Sometimes I'll even go in and apply a little bit more all over my face and use it as a foundation too. It's just a really nice concealer. This is coming from someone who used to only wear the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. Let's do one other, no, I have like two other K-beauty products. This is from the brand I'm UNNY. I think it used to be UNNY Club, or maybe it's vice versa. This is their Watery Rose makeup base. This is something that I've had in my Yes Style cart for a while. You guys, I love this one so much. I am such a primer addict. When I first opened this, I was like, oh, what the heck? Because when you look at it, it kind of looks like it would be that matte heavy texture as like Smashbox Photo Finish Primer or the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Primer, something like that. But once you actually pick up the product, you'll see it truly is silicone free. This has rose water, I think camellia extract water, primrose. It's supposed to be like super moisturizing. It melts down into this like watery gel texture, but then as it sets, it still has that really nice smoothing property. So it's a hydrating and smoothing primer. I love this. Plus, if you love the smell of rose water, you will love this one too. I've been really enjoying this primer. I'm so mad I forgot it today because this one truly does just like blur out your pores, but without having that thick silicone sort of feel. This is from the brand HERA. If you guys follow me on IG stories, you already know all about this. This is their Spicy Nude Gloss. It is a pricier gloss. I mean, whenever you're just thinking of like K-beauty products in general, but if you're just looking at other glosses from Sephora, then honestly, it's kind of like the average Sephora price. The cheapest I've seen it is I think like $22 at Style Vana. I'll go ahead and link several sites down below. I have mine in the shade 462. The applicator, first of all, is so cute. It's this like spongy, rounded doe foot. But then the color, this is once it's just like dried down and it's been on my lips for hours. As you can see, the pigmentation stays, but the gloss just kind of dries down, but you're still left with a nice color behind. Ooh, I need to exfoliate my lips. It does have a very subtle tingle. Nothing like buxom or anything like that. I already ordered the pink shade. I believe it's called Lingerie. There's several different spicy lines. Like they have matte versions of these. There's these gloss versions. And then I think there's like tint versions as well, but oh, I love this color. Like this is a total me sort of shade. Honestly, what more can you really say about a gloss? It's not sticky. There's that slight tingle feeling. It's long wearing for a gloss. It smells There's like a very, very light, subtle perfumey, like floral perfumey scent. I feel like there's like hair on my lips, but nope, it's just crust that needs to be like buffed off. Gross. Then I have this liquid blush that I've been testing out. It is the blush that I'm wearing today. I did have to go in and apply several different layers. This product is supposed to be like 50% of a moisture essence. This is from the brand FEEV. I have mine in the shade My Besties. It's their Hyper Fit Color Serum Blushers. I love the packaging of this. It's just this frosted glass, and then it is a pump applicator. As you can see from the swatch, it's very, very sheer, but it's a product that you're able to build up. So it kind of starts as like a translucent, like orangey sort of shade, but then this is going in with 3 different light layers. Another one of those sort of products that is, there's color, but it still allows your skin to breathe and really peek through, so you can still really see my freckles, but it still really looks nice and dewy and fresh on the face. I've really been into blushes lately, but especially these sort of formulas, whether it's in a liquid or a powder. For instance, the Beauty Pie baked blushes, basically like this glazy gelée sort of formula. Can't get enough of. I think they're so like just fresh and youthful looking. So FEEV, definitely been liking those. I have been trying this for so long now. I don't think I ever featured it in a speed reviews. I finally come to the conclusion, I just don't like it. I keep trying to make it work, and it just, I don't like it. It's the Tower 28 Bronzino in the shade West Coast. I know this is a product people absolutely love and adore. I'm someone who absolutely adores cream highlighters, cream blushes, cream bronzers, liquid cheek products. Like, I just love these sort of products, but this one just did not work for me. Honestly, this kind of reminds me of a not so good face balm. For instance, I have like the Danessa Myricks face balms. I love those, but this, I just felt like it emphasized the look of my pores, and it was just almost, how do I describe it? I don't mind that it's like metallic, but I just felt like it made my face look dirty. I ended up using this more as like a bronzy blush more so than a bronzer, but I don't know, it's a mixture of both the color and the formula. It's beautiful swatched, but on my face, I just could never get it to work. I felt like it would lift up whatever was underneath. I feel like I have plenty of experience with cream products. I know how to use them. I've tried this one so many different ways, and no matter what, I'm just never crazy about the final look. All right, I do have an eye product. This is from the brand Kaja. I've been loving their playful bento things. The only thing is I mainly just use the bronzers in here. I really wish all 3 products were cream. When it comes to their moon crystals, I have the shade, oh shoot, what are you called? Oh, number 5 Mystical. If you still happen to have MAC Boom Boom Room in your collection, this on top of that is stunning. So I can't vouch for the other shades, but this one is almost more like another glaze sort of product. On top of like another purple shade or something like duochrome, it's beautiful, but on the naked lid, it's one of those products where, do you see what I mean? There's not like a full base, but there's just this beautiful lavender duochrome sheen to it. Just that really nice wet glaze. It stays on the eyes great. But for me, if I'm gonna spend $14 on this, I would much more rather pay an additional $4 and get one of the Danessa Myricks Color Fix foils. Love those. There's just so many amazing shades. I find the formula to be much more long wearing with the Danessa Myricks ones versus the Kaja ones. This is the only shade that I have though. So like maybe the dark brown bronzy one has a fully pigmented base. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with the overall formula. If you really love this color, you've been looking for something like this exact color, by all means, go for it. I think you'll love it. But if you're just looking for a really nice, pretty, long-wearing, waterproof formula, go with the Danessa Myricks Color Fix. You won't be disappointed. The shade range is huge. They're multi-purpose. You can use them on your eyes, your lips, your cheeks. There's mattes, there's metallics, there's foils. These are the NARS Air Matte Lip Colors. My go-to shade is actually in my purse right now. It's the shade Surrender. I haven't been able to stop wearing it. But these shades are amazing as well. I'll be sure to swatch all of them for you. Air Matte is the perfect way to describe this. It's one of those like fluffy, moussey sort of textures, but it doesn't stay like dimethicone slippery feeling on your lips. It does dry down and just feels really comfortable on the lips. It's something that I kind of forget that is even on my lips. They are long wearing. However, if you do go in with anything oily like popcorn, why do I always use that? Like people are eating popcorn every single day of their lives. But if you were wearing this to the movies and you ate popcorn, a lot of it would wipe off, but it's not a product that like wipes off so easily where you're left with like streaks of lipstick all over your face. Does that make sense? Overall, I've really been enjoying this formula. I think the packaging is also very, very cute. However, I will say the like outer packaging is misleading because originally I like set these off to the side right away. I wasn't even gonna bother trying them out because I'm like, oh, this is like such a pale pink. I would never wear that. But then it's like a gorgeous rosy mauve. That one is in the shade Dolce Vita. All right, there you have it. There is my most recent bundle of speed reviews. This one I'm sure was longer than several of my other ones, but there were more products in this one. Let me know if you guys like these videos. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That way I know and I can continue filming these for you. Thanks for hanging out. And that's pretty much it for this one. Let me know what other videos you guys would like to see this week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.